Hey guys, what is up? My name is Rosie, and I wanted to do another What Are These Songs About video. The song is called Hurt, and it was written and performed by Trent Reznor and is on 9 Inch Nails' The Downward Spiral, released in 1994. The song itself was released on April 17, 1995, and was a promotional single. Hurt received a Grammy Award nomination for Best Rock Song in 1996, but Alanis Morissette got the award for You Oughta Know. The song was covered by Johnny Cash in 2002 and received critical and commercial acclaim, and was one of his last hits before his tragic death. The music video is said to have been one of the greatest of all time. Trent Reznor loved the Man in Black's version of the song for its sincerity and meaning, and has even said that the song wasn't his anymore. Johnny Cash's version sold 2,148,000 as of March 2017. Though flattered when first asked if Johnny Cash could cover his song, Trent Reznor was skeptical and worried that the song would sound gimmicky. After seeing the video, though, he became a fan and said, "I popped the video in and wow, tears welling, silence, goosebumps, wow. I felt like I just lost my girlfriend because that song isn't mine anymore." It really made me think about how powerful music is as a medium and art form. I wrote some words and music in my bedroom as a way of staying sane about a bleak and desperate place I was in, totally isolated and alone. Somehow that winds up reinterpreted by a music legend and from a radically different era and genre, and still retains sincerity and meaning, and different, but every bit as pure. The video for Johnny Cash's version was directed by 9 Inch Nails' former collaborator, Mark Romanek, who sought to capture the essence of Johnny Cash both in his youth and in his older years. The video was filmed in February of 2003 when Johnny Cash was 71 years old and suffering from serious illnesses. You could see how frail he was while watching the video, and his wife June Carter Cash was shown briefly in the video gazing with love and seeming concern at her husband. She died May 15th of that same year from complications of heart surgery, and barely 4 months later, Johnny Cash himself also passed away on September 12th. I have recently become reacquainted with the song, and I'm a little bit, obsessed with it. And I watch people's reactions of the video on YouTube. And there are a lot of black people that have taken interest in the song and the video, and they are absolutely touched by it, by Johnny Cash's version. And honestly, I think you have to be a heartless, soulless human being to not have some kind of reaction to it. They are touched in their hearts by it. Some of them actually cry after watching it. They say how beautiful the song is, how powerful the video is, and to get what their meaning is, you have to watch the video for yourself. I remember when the song came out in 2003, and I watched it with my then husband, and we were just like awe-stricken by the video. It was on MTV, and we just watched it, and we couldn't say anything. We had no words, and I remember just thinking, wow, because I loved how the song sounded. And honestly, I knew that the song was a Nine Inch Nails song, but I didn't hear Trent Reznor's version first. I heard Johnny Cash's version. And I was just touched by it and could see how frail and sick he was. I could see that he was pretty much at the end of his life. And knowing that fact, especially that he died months after releasing the video, it gives the song a whole new meaning, a more powerful meaning. Trent Reznor's version is also powerful because I was 18 years old at the time that Trent Reznor released his video, and I myself was in a very dark place in 1994 and 1995. At that time, I was suicidal, I was a cutter, I used to self-harm. I didn't really want to be a part of this earth anymore, so I could relate with the song on that level. And I said in my Slaughter video, my video telling about why I love Slaughter so much, I said how they saved my life because I was suicidal at that time. And I really was. My mom could tell. And I remember that I sliced my arm, like up and down my left arm, with a box cutter that I took from work. And I remember being at Bible study once with her former in-laws, and during prayer, her oldest sister-in-law looked at my arm, and she saw the scabs going up and down my arm, and all she could say was, "Oh my God." And they all just prayed. They weren't necessarily praying for me. It was the end of Bible study, and after the Bible study I was pretty much unmoved, so I went back to my room. I wasn't religious at all, and I resented church pretty much like how I do now. I don't resent God, I resent church. But anyway, I could relate with the song on that level and pretty much wish that I knew the song then, because it more than likely would have resonated with me as I was self-harming at that time. But I got to know Johnny Cash's version in 2003 and was just touched by it. And even now, so many years later, 16 years later, the song is still powerful, still beautiful. And it was filmed in Johnny Cash's former home of 20-30 years, the House of Cash, that was destroyed in a fire. I forgot when, but it was destroyed in a fire, and I think that the home itself kind of represents Johnny Cash in a way, as it was in disrepair at that time, and Johnny Cash was in disrepair at that time. It's like Johnny Cash and his former home were like representative of each other. In order to catch my meaning, you really have to see the video for yourself and listen to the song. You won't be sorry for it, I promise you. Trent Reznor did a great job writing those words. He really did. And I saw his video in recent years. I can't remember exactly when I first saw and heard his version, but I believe it was on MTV Classic. And like really late at night, wee hours of the morning, and it just came on. And I was like, oh. So I turned the TV up to hear it, and I was touched by his version also. The video was very interesting, as you could see images of war, a fox that was decaying in reverse, and Trent Reznor just in a spotlight singing his words on stage. And like I said, I wish that I had heard it back in 1995 when it was released, because it would have resonated with me, especially in the mental state that I was in at that time. I was 18 years old in 94, in the early part of 1995, so it really would have touched me. It would have resonated with me, and I would have loved the song, I'm sure, because I did like Nine Inch Nails at that time. I loved the song Closer, and so I think that hearing that would have, it would have made me think probably a lot more. But I heard it in later years, and it still touches me on the level that I was in at that time, as sometimes I'm still a little bit depressed. Sometimes I want to revisit cutting and hurting myself, but because of my children who are cutters themselves, I won't do it. But it's still a very powerful interpretation, and Johnny Cash's version is a powerful interpretation. I think that both songs should be listened to, both videos should be watched and looked at in the state of minds, in the presence of minds that both artists were in at those times. So yeah, that's what this video is about, and I hope you guys like it. If you did, give me a like, comment, and please share, and I hope you subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys, or at least I hope to, on the next upload. Bye for now.